Previously on Survivor Boston. In a twist, both tribes were sent to tribal council. On a Tribe Called Quest, Sarah strengthened her alliance with Lexi, Izzy, and Toby, putting Moses and Bruce on the chopping block. The four blindsided Bruce in a 5-1 vote.
Voting on Bruce because he's such a strong player that when the merge happens, I don't want to have to go up against him.
On Inferno, Daniella, feeling in danger, was frantically searching for the hidden immunity idol, unaware that her ally Brian already had it.
She's frantically searching for the idol that I have in my back pocket. I do trust Daniella, and I trust the Four Horsemen, but at some point, I have to play for myself. I can't play for all of them.
Peyton devised a plan to split the vote between Daniella and Brian, sending Daniella home and revealing to Brian that he was on the bottom. 10 are left. Who will be voted out tonight?
But again, anything could happen in this game. Grab your stuff, head back to camp. Good night.
Thanks.
Right. So do we just talk in here while we're in here?
Wow.
Yeah, do what you want.
All right, guys.
We just had to do that.
I knew
just
she
in
would play
case
for me. I
she
knew
had
she
one.
didn't like me.
Oh my god.
So the reason we decided to do that was we were very terrified that she was bluffing.
Yeah, because she wouldn't shut up about
So
it.
then I'm going next then?
No, it's not that.
It was because we assumed that you two would vote together, assuming for Giselle.
Now your loyalty is
Right. No.
Perfect.
Yeah,
So
no.
we assumed you two would vote together for Giselle.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we said, well, if we all vote for Daniella and she has an immunity idol, Giselle's going home. So we need to break it up, and we were going to try and make a three-way tie.
and then decide.
But since you obviously voted with us.
Right.
We picked you because we knew for a fact that Danielle wouldn't vote for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
So
it
that
was
was the
just
only
to,
way
like,
to do it. It was
solidify
just
that
in
a random
case.
person
We didn't want to get
No,
a jury.
yeah, that's fine. I was just, No.
Yeah, obviously saying
Okay.
your name
I
twice
was
is
like,
scary.
we kept being like, should
we
wouldn't shut
stop?
up about it.
So basically, I went in to Tribal thinking that all the votes were going to go towards Daniella, and that only Danielle would end up voting for Giselle. And I was like, well, if I vote for Giselle, like, there's no reason to vote for Giselle. And so I was like, I can't play the idol on her. Like, there's no way. And I'm really glad I didn't, because there were 2 votes for me, and if I had played it on Daniella, then that means it would have been a tie between Giselle and I, and they would have obviously voted me home.
She would have been like, oh, surprise, I do have the immunity idol. Oh, surprise, we predicted that.
Yeah, that would have been sick.
Yeah.
Okay, but now, like, we just
Yeah.
can't lose because I don't feel like dealing
Right.
I
with
don't
it.
want to vote,
yeah.
We like reassured him, and I don't think he was like. At first he was like, "Whoa, why'd you vote for me?" Like freaking out. But then when we explained it, I think he was fine. But I mean, he may have been very offended. But
I
It's awful.
really don't.
It's really
I
bad.
really don't want to
Yeah.
do it again.
It makes me
This
so
is our
happy
third
that
time
she
doing
voted.
it.
Yeah.
I will sever people's toes in order not to go through this shit.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I still have that idol in my back pocket just in case they want to vote me off next week, and I can hopefully take out either Elvis or Peyton.
I was thinking I could trust Brian, but now after what happened tonight, I'm pretty sure he's really shook, and he's very wary of us. I don't think I can really trust anyone. Maybe Giselle, since we've been on the same page for a long time.
So, I think it's safe to say that you are my closest ally in this game.
Yeah.
And
I feel the same.
okay.
Me, Giselle, Kate, and Peyton, we've got a good thing going on. Maybe we can knock out Brian next time. Sorry, Brian. But for now, I hope we can operate under the illusion that all of us are buddy-buddy tribe members.
Alright. Everyone, how are we all doing?
I'm tired.
Good.
Izzy, how are you guys affected by this double tribal council?
I don't think we were affected by that all that much because right before we had this like game plan strategy. We were like, let's just say bull answers so that like the other team doesn't know what we're thinking, you know?
Shirley didn't understand.
Not cool. All right, Kate, how are you guys affected by this double tribal?
Sorry.
I mean, it was a lot of deliberation, but we figured it out. So it was fine. I mean, we got through it as a team.
All right, so Elvis, Toby, we're gonna take like the individual ones. All right, are you guys ready for the next challenge?
Okay.
Yeah. First things first. Congratulations, you all have made the merge. Drop your box.
Already? Oh my
Wait,
god.
does this mean we also get to keep these as souvenirs?
Yes, you can officially keep
Yeah.
I did too, dang. Izzy, Toby, and I had talked about when the merge happened that the four of us, including Daniella, would like team up and be an alliance. I was like, I'm hoping that's still a thing, but I don't know if they think that I had something to do with Daniella being voted out, which I didn't. I literally was just like, this is out of my hands.
This one's for Peyton. What you want to do?
We merged apparently. I don't know why Izzy's still here. Like, what's she doing? Just kidding, Izzy. Like, you know, like she. I don't know. I feel like she's been kind of carried along.
So for the next couple minutes, we're going to kick y'all into the hallway so we can set up the immunity challenge. But during that time, if you guys could first choose a new tribe name, as there's no more Inferno, no more tribe called Quest. Okay. You guys get to decide on the new tribe name. Also, just because we love y'all and welcome to the merge, we have donuts.
It's because they couldn't afford a piece for us.
On the right foot.
Guys, we made it.
Okay, I'm the most answer.
Me too.
Emotional.
Water sign.
After the merge happened, there's definitely cliques. I noticed that Blue Tribe tended to stick together, and former members of Inferno also still tended to stick together. For example, how we sat around the circle during the Munchkins thing. Blue Tribe on one side and Inferno on the other side. So things are still pretty divided mentally because we're just not used to being around members of the other tribe.
Team, please clap.
Team, please clap.
Well, it's
Team,
tribe.
please
Let's
imitate.
vote.
I feel like please clap makes us seem like.
Alright. Let's narrow it down to
Are we
three.
though?
Let's think of 3 options and then vote from there.
What's the first Survivor tribe? What was the first Survivor tribe called? Definitely trying to make, not friends with everyone, but like trying to make connections with more people. Elvis and I literally met like 20 minutes before. I can definitely trust him as of now. Most trustworthy person for me, but he's also going to be a threat because he like, I could see him easily leaving me in the dust like if he needed to for his own game. But like so far he hasn't had to. Option. What about
That was
no,
I'm usually so good at it.
Is anyone Aquarius?
I ate the entire box of donuts. Like everybody else had one and I had like 7. No. And then I found the clue.
Close enough.
And then I was just like, and like slipped it in my wallet behind me. Because VH cruise.
That's exactly what I thought of. Good.
No, blank tribe.
Yeah.
During the Munchkin meeting thing, when I looked into the box, I noticed the scroll in there, and I just didn't think much of it. Which I really should have put a little more thought of it into it, but Lexi definitely noticed. But I noticed her notice. She tried to be sneaky about it. She took it out of the box, hid it behind her back slowly, and I just watched her the entire time. Like, what do you think you're doing, trying to be sneaky in front of us? So obviously she's not a person to be trusted.
That's just my.
It's aggressive.
What's the Tyra thing where she's like,
No need I for
think Lexi's side may rely on her too heavily to like get them through the game. Lexi will get eliminated sooner rather than later. And when that happens, like a lot of people, like that's kind of like the group they formed is like around her. So I don't know what's gonna happen to them. So I feel like I kind of have to just keep my options open because it's kind of like hard to tell right now what's gonna happen.
I like cruises with Ted.
With
I like
It's not a tribe name.
he looks like
Come on in, guys.
Oh, purple's
Where do we sit?
I'm gonna hold it down.
All right. For today's challenge, we have a series of puzzles. More specifically, wordzels, for those of you who don't know what they are. We have 3 sets of puzzles sitting in front of you right now. Every box has a different answer to the riddle. Once you solve all 3, there's another set. This time it's 6. Once you correctly solve every single puzzle, on the back of both of those sheets of paper will be a longer riddle. Whoever solves that longest riddle at the end wins immunity, guaranteed a 1 in 9 spot.
Okay, let's go.
Survivors ready?
Yeah.
Yes. Go. Check.
Number 1 is as far as I've gotten so far.
Is this narrating to the camera?
Number 2's on the
Everyone quiet.
You're hard, Charles.
Yeah.
check, and then again, they got ones in there. Okay. So like.
I have an idea for one of them, but I don't think one of them do this.
I feel like a teacher's assistant.
Bullshit at third and then get.
Ooh,
3 wrong.
Jack. So one of them, we think there's 2 possibilities.
Yeah.
No.
Somebody gets on 3, then scratch that.
Wait.
Someone gets on 3, then of course we scratch.
1 wrong.
Check.
1 wrong. Moses and Toby slowly getting the hang of it.
Are we the only 2 with 2?
I can't tell
I
you.
think you're the only 2 with any.
You've been saying it out loud.
Feel free to write something down, throw it out there, and see if you're anywhere near correct.
Oh shit. I got it. Hey, check please.
None right.
No, that one's gone.
No, it isn't.
This is just like you should know that. You should probably. Moses, moving on.
Brian moving on.
Brian
Brian
moves
and
on.
Moses at the second round.
Go,
I
Brian.
feel like this team was like, come on, Jeopardy, we can do this.
Can I see this?
Well, now we know who the intelligent ones are.
I'm breaking down mental
Toby basically running out of room.
Can I move a piece of paper?
Wait, okay.
Someone get Toby another piece of paper. He's running out of room. You guys can communicate. Do what you need to do. Folders are gonna stay up.
Can we?
You guys can talk.
This one.
Yeah, I gave that to him.
Alright, 3 right.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 right. I wish I had 3 right.
Right. Oh, out of 6. I was like,
Yeah.
wouldn't that be?
Check.
Check it.
Yeah, check.
Brian's starting to catch up, has 3 right.
Kate moving on. Lexi moving on.
Whoa.
Damn it.
Check.
Izzy moving on.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh my god. What is happening?
Giselle moving on.
Wait. I moved
She
on
wants to
first.
take first.
Kate, I love
6 more.
The 4 have worked together and they are now moving on to the
Toby
next
moving
round.
on. Sarah moving on.
I know me too.
Who else? Elvis. It's just Elvis.
So just
Elvis stuck on the last one.
God
nobody
damn.
seems to be helping Elvis.
Elvis.
How's that make you feel, Elvis?
Giselle's
Do you have thoughts on either the ones on the or left?
It's good to see
Oh.
that.
Isn't that so great? Like when you realize, oh, it was that the.
Elvis moving on to the next round. It's interesting that people are still keeping that team mentality, even when in an individual challenge.
Exactly, it's really interesting. Also
Right.
interesting, Elvis being the last one to know that entire table of girls working together.
In the way that
Only
people
one
are
of you will win this challenge, though. Lexi, then Brian.
Record.
Check.
5 right.
This one's wrong. This one's wrong.
I know.
5 right.
But they all know that only one of them can win. So what information do they give out? What information do they keep to themselves?
I don't know.
5 right.
Wrong. I'm just.
Sarah has 5 right. A lot of people have 5 rights on the second round right now.
Remember when I almost gave up and now I'm so into it? I knew this would happen.
Giselle and I were like, we're gonna die. We're gonna put it out.
Everyone always getting stuck on one, and it's beautiful.
We're all stuck on the same one.
Yeah. It's okay.
Only in exchange.
Let me see. No,
It could be 2.
That was my best guess. I don't know the last one.
Kate's moving on to the final. Flip it over. Flip it over.
Shit.
Solve the last one. Lexi.
Kate can flip her stuff over. She can solve the last one.
Can I get a check?
Check.
Kate wins in the end.
Oh my god. Kate between this table.
And we're fucked.
Right.
Toby, come
Yeah,
sit.
come join everyone. Let's see, he's pissed. Yeah.
That was like me. I thought you were gonna win.
All right, Kate, come on over.
Yay!
Kate led tonight's Tribal Council with a 1-9 shot at winning this game.
Not tonight.
Kate won what she could for her. That was gonna be her challenge because she does nothing but word puzzles. And she's a big threat and like, she's low-key kind of pissy. So, just like in general, so, you know, not really somebody that we would want to stay in the game.
So, you guys noticed during the Munchkin thing? Lexi, there was a scroll inside the Munchkin box.
No, she hid something behind her back.
Yeah. That's what,
Oh, god
she
damn.
took
God damn.
so
I'm like
Lexi-
behind Munchkins. Like,
I'm assuming that scroll is a clue to the
Yeah.
so damn, what do we do now?
As everyone was finishing up their the first part of the puzzle, no one was decided to help me out. I guess they do see me as a threat. It's kind of like how we felt about Daniella, but now it's for me. So I definitely feel nervous at tonight's Tribal Council. So this is what I was thinking, like throughout that whole Munchkin thing. She's not gonna expect us to like go after her ASAP.
Me right now?
No, I mean like.
Yeah, let's all go after her.
Let's go beat her up.
Yeah, like,
Beat her up.
no, I thought you meant forward. She was. Not even forward.
So to keep her from using it in the future, I think we should surprise her from the get-go, and like everyone vote for her, Lexi, since she has the clue to it.
That's an interesting thought.
I immediately brought up the subject of Lexi having the immunity. I decided to put that in everyone's mind and give them the idea to go after her instead of me, like just redirect my everyone's attention towards her since she has the immunity. And that's a logical reason. Izzy sketchily leaned over towards Sarah and showed something on her phone screen, and Sarah was like,
shoot.
I really need to be more observant.
so I think Sarah, Izzy, and Lexi are kind of got their thing.
Okay. Sarah, do you
And
want to?
Toby might be a part of that too.
We had spotted Lexi grabbing a questionable item that could have been an immunity clue, but we thought a little bit oddly about that after. And so our first instinct was go for Lexi. We wanted to get that out of the game as quickly as possible. Well, then I'm thinking, how do you guys feel about all us five? How do you feel we function as a team?
Us? 5.
I mean, I don't know. I think.
Maybe we should do some team building exercises to find
Honestly,
out.
yeah.
I'm saying, I will go on a limb. I trust you guys. So
Yeah, I mean,
I would not mind being tight. But what I think is really good is the collective we formed a little after. And I think that alliance, I think having that team is good.
We don't know that that's a clue. Like, that could be immunity. I think it's probably more likely that's a clue.
Yeah, 'cause
But
I feel like she
that's
would've
what
been
they've
like,
done before.
If it was like.
Well, here's the thing, I looked at her face a little bit. I think she caught on that I looked at her. I didn't catch on, but she looked a little bit like jittery.
Gotcha.
A little kind of.
Okay.
Oh yeah, she was super.
Yo.
What's up?
It's terrifying to find.
No, you good?
Well, they definitely know that we have.
No,
No,
they
we're
don't
just
know.
chilling.
You guys are the only people that I like actually trust in this game.
Yeah.
So.
I thought
That's why I told you
I
guys about
really,
the
I
video.
sincerely thought I could trust Brian, but I guess that's not the case.
Brian did end up voting Danny off. I know that I was like spooked just because like we were in such a strong alliance. But we can pretend that we trust Brian and use him as votes.
Okay.
Because he doesn't
So
know.
that gives us 5.
Yeah.
We can convince Giselle.
I don't
Because
think so.
I don't.
She just texted me.
I don't think I trust Giselle.
We can use her for
What
the
if you
vote.
meet with her one-on-one?
We don't tell her anything. We say, our plan is so and so.
But now going into this merge, I know I can trust Sarah Duvall. I know I can trust Lexi. I'm pretty sure I can trust Toby. And I think that's it. even though Moses is still a really strong player, I think he's also a team player, but Elvis is in it on
It's
his own.
not a team game anymore.
Elvis does not care about team members, and he never has. He's in it to win it. And like, you know.
Let's do Elvis and then we'll talk about Moses for next time.
Yeah.
Or Peyton. Elvis saw me find the clue, and I looked at Elvis and I was like, he has to be gone. I'm worried that Elvis told others that I found a clue, and it's getting to the point where I'm just finding too many clues and people are like looking at me as a threat. So I ended up giving Izzy my clue because I don't want 2 immunity idols. I told Izzy, I told Toby, and I told Sarah that I have the immunity idol and that I would happily share it with them even though I would not. And that way it's just a little pressure under my, like off of my back. I told them that I found it yesterday, which is a lie, but like at least they know I have it.
Lexi was very open with us and told us that she's going to use it to save one of the 4 of us when that time comes. If we hear whisperings of one of us being voted out. We definitely have a final 4. But do you think they would try to sway you to vote for me or Toby?
If they did, I would say that I would and then I would not.
Okay.
Elvis?
I've wanted
we need
Elvis
to reach
out from like the beginning.
We need to reach out to 2.
When it came down to it, Elvis like pulled some of us aside, and he's trying to get out either Lexi or Sarah or Izzy.
All right, guys.
Good job, Elvis.
Go.
I just knew that a lot of people wanted Elvis out, like just because not because of who telling them to do that, just like their personal like he's a threat to them.
I'm not. In full. In full. At the same time.
Here's the thing.
That's what I was thinking the entire.
Lexi, Izzy, Sarah.
I was literally like the whole time he was talking. I was like,
No.
Okay, I think we're.
I was literally was just sitting in here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I knew that when he was talking, like half of the people he was talking to, like me, Kate, Brian, were like all in our minds like saying like, we want you out, but we're gonna just keep nodding and smiling because we're not gonna tell you that, obviously.
oh yeah.
So should we go knock on the door right now?
I'm going to.
Okay. I'll tell Giselle.
Well, now we know for sure that Elvis doesn't have an idol.
Who is it?
Hey.
Yo.
Hi, friends.
We have much to say.
Yes. So we were talking, and then there was a knock on the door, and they didn't wait for us to open it. They just barged in and saw the 4 of us talking.
Yeah, we were all close the door. Oh my god.
Which 1, rude. 2, worst thing for the 4 of us for our game.
And he said he was like basically like, okay, so like I think we should go for one of y'all because you're obviously like went off. We were all thinking about voting off Elvis, so we were all like, yeah.
Are these just individual thoughts that we've all had because that seems to be what this has been.
Elvis.
Yeah.
No, like
and Peyton would
Yeah.
Peyton would be done.
Yes.
she
I know Peyton doesn't like Elvis.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
that's something that also, like, just so you guys know, Blue Tribe in the very beginning, we were like, Elvis is the rat.
Yeah, I agree. So, and even that, like,
We've been thinking,
Red
Red Tribe.
And the weird thing is, they just completely told us everything Elvis said, which I don't understand what the strategy is there, because like, if they were playing the game right, obviously the 4 of us are a thing, like they would want to break us up. So why they told us that in the first place blows my mind. But I guess getting Elvis out is like more important.
But I think like, because do you
think he's nervous because like he thinks that people know that he has the idol?
Okay, here's the thing
Peyton
also, though.
blatantly just said that to him. He was like, what? No. But that,
Is he a
that
good
was via
liar?
Snapchat, so I don't know. He's never lied to me, so I don't know.
How do you know?
Because everything we've planned is going through. That's the only way I can know.
Toby doesn't think he's a threat. I think he's a threat. Do you guys think he's a threat?
Yeah.
Because Toby is also one of the people that has been on a tribe with him. I have not.
I know, God rest her soul, Danny always thought that.
Do you think he's a threat?
He just hasn't played with any strategy.
My allies thought Elvis was a big threat. I personally didn't feel the same way. Giselle and Kate came in saying they also wanted to vote out Elvis. So I think that's the game plan going into tonight, unless there's some epic blindside on one of us that I...
Every time he like tries to vote someone out, he tries to like get like people talking like really quickly about like after a challenge, like almost like too
He's
quickly.
scared, I think, and that's why I think might as well get him out.
Like I would much rather get Elvis out because he's just like his strategy kind of isn't like working that well. Like being that aggressive just doesn't like work in this game.
And also, he thinks he wants to win. Like he thinks he's.
You're really into pinky promises.
We could also.
I am,
this is
because
an
if you break a
option.
pinky promise, I get to cut off your pinky. So who would do that?
I don't think that's a thing. Like, I didn't think I was gonna win that challenge, so like when I did, it was just like, awesome. But like, honestly, if I didn't get it, I don't think I'd be too concerned because I think people have their targets, and I'm not necessarily the first one on someone's list right now.
We could also, like, not that I want to because I think we need her, is Peyton.
Yeah.
But it's also.
Why do we need her?
Just like in the future for
She has
numbers.
immunity.
No.
No,
No, that's
It was
right.
temporary.
My thing
immunity.
is, I get what you guys are saying, but also, like, I think we all need to keep in mind right now that this is an individual game. And to me, like, I don't know about you guys, but I see Peyton as a very, very strong player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure my name has come up a couple times, but like from what I've heard, people are like talking about Elvis and talking about Lexi the most right now.
Don't get involved. I'm
Okay,
telling you.
okay.
Me.
You guys tell him that you have the numbers.
Lexi showed me the clue last night, and then I was like, okay, well, carrying on. And then I went on in life. I went to my 10 a.m., went to my noon class, and then Michaela and I went out for a walk. We were literally just like walking in the commons. And I was like, hey, wait, hang on, like, I'm gonna go check by this tree because I think I remember. And then I was like, oh, look at those perfectly laid out twigs. That doesn't happen in nature. Someone put them there. I like touched the twigs, the pile of twigs with my foot, and I was like, I see a yellow bag. And then I was like, whoop, there it is. Can they hear it? Okay, there. I didn't want to wrap it up. I mean, unwrap it again. I woke up this morning not having any intention of finding the idol.
I trust Izzy the most, probably, just because we've been on the same. Even she came with me over from the Inferno.
There's something in my eye. It's like a twinkle or like a glimmer, like a national park. Oh my god.
She tells me like most things that go on. She told me today that she had an immunity idol, which was nice.
I don't know if Toby's gonna keep it just between me and Toby. So I texted him and I was like, don't tell anyone. He said obviously, but like, is it obviously? And I'm still paranoid that he's gonna tell people, so I just text him again. If you swear not to tell anyone I have the idol, then we can keep it between you and me, and we can use it to protect us. I mean, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Like, I'm not gonna give it away, but you know, I'll just make Toby think that I'm not.
My original plan yesterday, which probably isn't that good of a plan, was have any of you guys like come into contact with Sarah, Toby, Izzy, or Lexi?
I saw Sarah, but like I didn't do it.
We did.
Smile.
Did you talk to them?
Yeah.
A little bit.
In our 6-person camp so far, it's me, Brian, Peyton, Kate, and Moses, and Giselle, of course. I'm kind of nervous because they didn't seem completely on board with going after Lexi.
My idea was to go after her immediately, but what if she's already found it and she plays it tonight,
And
then that just screws over the person before them?
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Maybe then we shouldn't go directly for her.
I
Because
think-
if we go for
yeah.
someone else, then we know.
We should
know
go
without
for.
a shadow of a doubt.
We should go for either Sarah. There's no point going for.
This
We
was-
should go for Sarah.
Yeah.
I noticed that after me and Moses left last night, Giselle, Kate, and Brian stuck around in the room for a bit longer. I don't know what they were up to. Maybe they were just chit-chatting. I am slightly nervous that they might have been discussing something against me. But maybe not, since Giselle was in there, and I think I can count on Giselle to keep me informed on the stuff.
I feel more comfortable voting for Sarah than I do Izzy.
Yeah.
Because I'm on the team with Sarah for a while.
Sarah's also a better competitor than Izzy is.
Yeah, like
literally every.
I'm not threatened by Izzy in a competition.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And she will
She's
eventually
gonna be
be like,
packed.
Sorry. I definitely was concerned missing the challenge that would make me a target, but I'm feeling pretty good. I went to the beach with Giselle today, so she just kind of like gave me a quick rundown. And she said that they wanted to target Elvis because we definitely don't trust Elvis. You know, like we could definitely sway him if we wanted to target someone else. Like he would vote with us, so that's good. But just in general, I just don't trust him. I don't know.
I don't know when she's gonna play that video. If she has.
if she has it. But honestly,
Yeah.
no one has found it at this point, literally.
Yeah.
And Daniella had 3 clues to it.
I like Sarah, like when we were on a team together, I definitely think we got along, but I think like since we haven't really been on the same side for a while and like we haven't been talking, I feel like she might like, you know, have a group. She pops into my head for sure. But I don't know. I really don't know. Everyone needs to go, except for me. I need to win.
Izzy gave me the idol before going to tribal from the advice of Toby, just in case things were feeling weird there.
I found the idol. Only Sarah, Tibby, that's Toby by the way, Sarah, Tibby, and Lexi know that. The idol was in my possession for less than 3 hours and then was ripped from my clutches.
That I don't know specifically who they're going for right now, but I do know that at the moment, I believe Peyton and Giselle are voting out Elvis along.
So I talked to Brian. I asked him if he wanted to be like in an alliance with me, and if he wanted to be in alliance with me, Lexi, Toby, and Izzy, because he had previously worked with Toby, Izzy, and Danny.
5 of us have an alliance going. If no one flips, we would technically control the next 4 votes. Right?
I'm just
Yeah.
worried though. Not about
We
you.
weren't in there.
I was low-key worried about you, but now I think you're fine.
I promise. Literally anything
like-
you want to know.
Giselle, I definitely have on my side. She said something along the lines of like, I don't need Elvis anymore, but that could be a lie. Basically, I'm not feeling like I'm in 100% control right now with the merge, but I feel as though by next challenge, hopefully I'll be able to be again. But like, I'm just kind of worried that like Elvis was like, because I'll be straight up, like, I found, so in the donut box, there is a clue,
Right.
and Elvis saw me see the clue.
With Lexi, she's more of a wild card because I have never been on the same tribe as her, and let's say that the 5 of us end up being the final 5. My goal would be to break up Lexi and Izzy at that point. Honestly, I don't fully trust any of them. They have their own sorts of games. If I went with Elvis, I have never worked with any of them before, whereas I do think that in the game, the stronger people are in the alliance of 5 that I have going on right now, so it would technically help me to have them voted out.
I do not feel safe, no. I think I can count on Giselle to keep me informed on the stuff, so in my book, she's still trustworthy. But as far as anyone else is concerned, Moses, Kate, Peyton, and Brian, I don't trust them as much as I do Giselle. If someone on my camp decides to betray any of us, things will get complicated.
I don't know if they're playing the game the same way that I am. If all goes as planned, Elvis will be gone because everybody seemed to be, like, to agree pretty much on, like, yes, let's get Elvis out. Right now, it's split 5 and 5, and I don't know what Brian would do. I honestly have no idea what's gonna happen tonight.
Yeah, like 6. Yeah. Honestly, like as long as it's not me, it's a pro. Like just knocking people out because whatever. I feel like I'm kind of going in blind and just hoping for the best.
Alright, so welcome back to Tribal Council. First things first, has there been any consensus on a new tribe name?
Tomato.
I thought we were just keeping merged tribe. How about that? Black tribe.
Alright, so Peyton,
like I taught you.
how is the game different now that you're all one big tribe?
You know, now we're definitely thinking more individually than we even were before. And I would imagine that groups are starting to form.
What groups do you think are starting to form?
Well, I mean, I saw some people emerging from Izzy's room. Sarah, Lexi, Bailey, and Izzy.
Bailey was voted out.
Oh,
So
Bailey's no longer.
All boys look the same, guys. I really look like boys.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot your name.
That was embarrassing.
So Giselle, does that raise any red flags that you see Sarah, Lexi, Izzy, and Toby all meeting up and possibly plotting against any of the rest of you?
Well, I mean, it just shows that, like Peyton said, groups are starting to form. I feel like that's natural and, like, there's no way to avoid it.
So then Moses, do you feel that any of this has to do with your older tribe?
I don't really think so. I think right now, you have that individual focus, you have your tiny clusters, but I really think it's more of just like, okay, who can I work with right now? How can I do this? And how can that benefit me in the long run?
Kate, how do you feel tonight? You are completely safe, literally zero stress on you right now. How does it feel?
I don't know. It's kind of fun being like, oh, no pressure. Like, I don't care about anything. Well, I do, but like, I don't know.
Do you feel you needed immunity tonight?
I mean, I don't think so.
Who thinks they needed immunity tonight? Who thinks that without it they're in trouble? All right, so we have our nice little four right here: Lexi, Peyton, Sarah, and Brian. Brian, why do you feel like you needed immunity tonight?
I mean, I'm a stressed person. So just in general, I feel like the only person who like can truly be like, I'm 100% safe is that person with the immunity necklace around their neck. So it's just a matter of like weighing all of those emotions and then seeing what the scale puts out for an answer.
So then where's the scale pointing tonight? What do you want to be basing your vote off of now?
I don't know, it's just like this constant like need for reassurance.
So Elvis, if this game is a constant need for reassurance, meeting up with people left and right, do you agree with that? Have you been doing that? And is that something you feel is necessary?
I think that's definitely necessary, not just for me, but for everyone in here. I did meet with a few people before this tribal council.
All right, so Toby.
Hi.
Has there been any talk of hidden immunity idols? No idols have been played in this game, and now we're one big tribe where you're not really sure what could happen.
I mean, I guess people who have found clues in the past could be potential threats, but
Who's found clues in the past?
I don't know who has found clues in the past.
Bailey.
Bailey.
Not me.
So if Bailey's found a clue in the past, Izzy, does that make anyone who's potentially found a clue a target now? Because Bailey's out of the game.
I don't think so, because Danny at one point had 3 clues, and it still took her 7 hours to search for final, and she still never, an idol, and she never found any. So I don't think that just because someone has a clue doesn't mean they're going to solve it. Riddles are hard.
You say riddles are hard, but we did just do a puzzle challenge where a lot of you got very close to the end.
It's because we all solved one at a time, and
Yes.
we're like, hey, what'd you get? Who would you get? What'd you get? Like we were.
But I would not have
You can
won.
tell.
It was
okay.
a group effort.
That was a lady effort.
That was such a group. Wow.
So Lexi, we're saying now it's a group effort to win in a game where only one person wins. Where do you draw the line?
No, I feel like it is a group effort, but it's an individual effort just as equally. Like, for instance, all this talk of there being alliances, I don't consider myself to be in an alliance. I've talked to many people who weren't in Izzy's room. When Elvis said that he should talk to everyone, Elvis never approached me. I would have happily approached Elvis. Yeah, Elvis.
Lexi, oh my God, stop.
I received a pretty clear reaction to that last statement by Lexi, pretty much calling you out for not approaching her.
It doesn't really worry me in particular because I did say I met with some people, and it's true that I never met with Lexi.
Lexi's process of elimination. Who was not approached by Elvis?
All right, so
One,
Toby's now doing.
2,
Who wasn't approached by Elvis?
4.
Saw you earlier though. Saw you earlier though.
So we have apparently the 4 people plus Moses who were all meeting up earlier. Who
How would
did
you define approach? I've
Yeah.
spoken to Elvis. I wouldn't say Elvis approached me, but I've conversed with Elvis.
I think Izzy at one point tried to go back into the room, and it was obvious we weren't wanted there. And it was
I'm just scared of crowds.
I feel like I'm being targeted here because people are saying I wasn't approached by Elvis. They weren't
Just
approached
being
by.
used as an example.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I wasn't
Yeah.
approached by a lot of people. You weren't the only one.
I haven't really approached anyone.
So Sarah, how do you angle your vote at this trial? Is it based on past alliances, current alliances?
It's not alliances, it's more of like a trust. I'm a very observant person and I can tell who is going to be somebody to rely on in the future. And I know that in this game, there is no way to win this as an individual. Call it an alliance, call it by another name. There is no way to get anywhere in this game if you are not working with people.
Yeah. Here we go. All right. It is time to vote. Izzy, you're up. Please.
So, if what I think is going to happen tonight does happen, I know I can trust the 5 people I met with so far.
Because you're coming at my alliance, and I think you're a huge threat to this game.
It's had to be a certain way. Doing it for the new collective.
I think it's pretty obvious that a lot of us want you gone.
If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and you want to play it, now would be the time to do so.
I'm using this on myself.
All right.
There you go.
The rules of Survivor state that if a hidden immunity idol is played, any votes for that person will not count, and the person with the next highest amount of votes will be sent home. This is an idol. Any votes cast for Sarah will not count. I'll read the votes. This is Boston.
That was crazy.
First vote. Sarah does not count. Sarah does not count. It's 2 votes, Sarah. None of them count. Elvis. That's 1 vote, Elvis. Elvis. 2 votes, Elvis. Elvis. That's 3 votes, Elvis. No votes for anyone else. Elvis. That's 4 votes, Elvis. No votes anyone else. 6th person voted out of Survivor Boston and the first member of our jury. Elvis. You need to bring your buff.
At least he can respect your game.
Elvis, the tribe has spoken. It's time for you to go.
Yeah, I'll give you my phone.
Hi, Elvis.
Hi, Elvis. You made a good game, sir.
I feel like getting voted off at this point is a compliment.
Yeah. Like, honestly, yeah.
All right, so if this vote is anything to say about the things to come, there's a lot more blindsides on the way. Grab your stuff and head on out.
Next time on Survivor Boston, 2 alliances scramble for numbers.
I know there was some talking that I was completely cut off from.
And a new twist is introduced in the game.
So you can either choose to continue this immunity challenge or to go for the advantage behind you.
God damn it. They completely outmaneuvered us. I really wish I could have shown more of what I was capable of. I think I left on a bad note, and I really regret not scheming more. I really should have tried stabbing people's backs more, because that just would have been more fun. I'm glad I took part in this. Good luck to everyone, and may the best survivor win.